Now you don't. Ha! Here I am, Louise Caroline Alberta. Not bad, don't you think? This etching is of me. Here, I'm fishing on the Matapedia. Or is it the Cascapedia? Can't remember. It's been so long, you have no idea. I've truly had to dig into my memories. Ugh, the dust. How peculiar, this passage of time. I've been wearing these same clothes for ages. But you, dear children of Alberta, worry not. I've been keeping an eye on you. Your land of liberty and freedom is a tremendous gift, you know. How lucky you are. And I, just like that, gave you my name, Alberta, wrapped in silk with a matching green tartan ribbon. All this to say, I am the fourth daughter of Queen Victoria. But I was a free spirit, a painter, a sculptor, activist, feminist. The British Empire was expanding, geopolitics, economics. They sent me to Canada with my husband, John Douglas Sutherland Campbell, named Governor General of this vast territory. Canada is far, huge, and bitterly cold, but this is where I felt free. Do you realize how lucky you are? Now, listen to this. Alberta, who are the people who preserved your riches?
It is my people. Let him who has eyes see. We've known this land for thousands of generations. Its plains, rivers, mountains. We've learned that it is folly to try and tame the forces of nature. We know that nature is the source of wisdom. We learn to respect the sacred land that nurtured us. We've learned to live in harmony. Let him who has ears hear. My people have lived on this land from a time in the distant past and have protected its treasures for generations to come. Thus was preserved the land of Alberta.
And so it was. Yet, one cannot ignore the countless battles that shaped British North America. It was in Rupert's land that Paul Kane followed the fur traders, Métis, and the First Nations. He painted Fort Edmonton in 1846, a trading post for the Hudson's Bay Company. Imagine a York boat going up this river, or a red river cart rolling on its wooden axles.
Clocks were getting out, and our t-shirt sometimes proud and start to grow old. We'll pick up run beside the river.
Who were these brave pioneers? Who was courageous enough on this land of Alberta? Despite the hardships encountered, the settlers would find a vast and unlimited potential.
Where is the place?
The steam train made its appearance in Canada in the mid-1800s, while at the same time, Canada was defining its borders. In 1871, in order to convince the West to join Confederation, Prime Minister Sir John A. Macdonald promised to build a transcontinental railway. I had the opportunity to board one of these train cars, on my way to the district of Assiniboia. It took 14 years and more than 5,000 kilometres of railway to create what would become the backbone of Canada.
From one treaty to another, it's been a continuing struggle for mutual respect and understanding. Our children will determine if we have made the right decisions. Our children will see how the people of Alberta have maintained the riches we bestowed upon them.
Alberta joined Confederation in 1905. Its population increased from a few thousand to more than 370,000 inhabitants. Here it is, the all-new legislature building, right in the heart of Alberta. A grand edifice overlooking the river, to seat the government and serve as an official meeting place. Since 1912, it is here in the legislature that Alberta has applied the principles of parliamentary democracy. Demos and krasia, Greek words meaning a people governed by itself. The citizens of Alberta value the Legislative Assembly, for it is a reflection of its society, its character and aspirations. A mirror of sorts. It begs the question, how am I connected to you? Like me and you. What links us together? What do we have in common? During the 20th century, Alberta's values and aspirations will be reflected in the Assembly by 4 major administrations, thanks to the work done by inspired citizens engaged in the democratic process. Agriculture, commerce, education, control of natural resources, human rights. In 1927, 5 women, known as the famous 5, united and presented their appeal before the Supreme Court and won their bid to have women recognised as persons. At the same time, Western farmers would transform the prairies into an agricultural power. The United Farmers of Alberta would be the government for 15 years, until the Great Depression and drought. On the airwaves, preacher and radio evangelist Premier William Aberhart, leader of the Social Credit Party, would vigorously demonstrate that the Legislative Assembly is closely linked to the people.
It is claimed that we are mixing religion and politics. Now, I have attended church and read my Bible most of my life.
His party would stay in power for over 35 years. And, as fate would have it, in 1947, oil was discovered at Leduc. Based on the Natural Resource Act negotiated by Premier John Brownlee 20 years earlier, Premier Ernest Manning envisioned a self-sufficient economic development for Alberta. Marshall McLuhan, an Albertan, was right. The medium is the message. Television brings politicians into our homes. But is it fact or fiction? In 1971, Peter Lougheed, former football player, businessman, lawyer and Harvard graduate, becomes Premier. During his many years in office, he and his wife Jeannie would lead the political scene with strong views on resource development, federal-provincial relations, cultural support, and would establish the Heritage Savings Trust Fund. Today, in the age of new media, Alberta is diverse, complex and multifaceted. Its strength lies in its 4 million plus citizens and their commitment to making this province a home of prosperity and progress. It is now easier than ever to connect with each other. The democratic rights of each and every person depends on actions taken by courageous men and women, like you. How lucky you are. More than ever, the legislature is your gateway to democracy.
Ladies and gentlemen, all rise please.
The world from whence I came has not completely faded. It white is simply one shade amongst the many colours of Alberta. I am Louise Caroline Alberta. And you, who are you?